Alright guys, welcome back to another movie review. Today we're going to be doing the sequel of Ted, Ted 2. The movie stars Mark Wahlberg, Seth MacFarlane, and Amanda Seyfried. Basically, the main plot in a nutshell is going to be the talking teddy bear Ted um, trying to get his civil rights back, trying to become a human in the eyes of the law. After what has taken place in the first Ted, for some reason they view him as a human in the first one, and then in this one they decide not to, which is obviously the laziest way to make a sequel. But they decided to make a sequel, and here we go. This is what it is. So what they do is Johnny and Ted go on a hunt for a lawyer, which is Samantha Jackson, played by Amanda Seyfried. They're trying to fight the man to get his civil rights back. Ted is stripped of all human rights, so his new marriage is now annulled. He cannot have kids. So even through adoption, they don't view him as a parent or anything, or as a human, so he can't do that. So the movie goes on big tangents and goes like, first they're trying to have a kid, and then they're doing their court case, and then after that they're on a road trip to get a different lawyer, and then they're at Comic-Con, and then they're all different. Everything's happening, and it's funny, but unfortunately what the movie does is it gives you long pauses from the jokes. In the beginning of the movie you're laughing, and then 20 to 25 minutes in, you're no longer laughing and you're thinking about the movie, which is not what Seth MacFarlane should want you to do, because if we do that, we're going to pick apart your shitty movie. So basically, the acting's fine. I think it's funny. I think the chemistry with Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg's great. I think they have really good give and take. I'm curious to see how much of that movie was, if any of it was improv. It seemed like some of it could have been, and I hope some of it was, because they're funny together. Something to note is that they totally just take away Mila Kunis's character, and they kick her out, which to me destroys the whole first movie. Like, why was there a first movie? Because the whole first movie was centered around Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis becoming together and remaining together. And by taking her out, it kind of destroys that whole first one. But for some reason, Seth MacFarlane, or at least whoever made the decision of getting rid of Mila Kunis, maybe she didn't want to come back, but nonetheless, they got rid of her as fast or faster than they got rid of Megan Fox from Transformers. So that's that. The acting was, like I said, it was fine. Everyone did a great job. There's some cool cameos with Morgan Freeman and Liam Neeson. The Liam Neeson cameo was especially funny. I saw 1,000 Ways to Die in the West, another Seth MacFarlane movie, which is quite possibly the most racist movie I've ever seen. But I think people always think of Liam Neeson, basically because this is Liam Neeson, is a movie, like an action movie person, a Taken movie guy. And unfortunately, I feel like maybe he's typecasted himself as that too much. But he's actually hilarious. He's really, really funny. And I think that's where I don't understand why Mila Kunis didn't come back, because I think she's hilarious. I think given the right script and the right actors or actresses surrounding her, I think she can be really, really funny. So I think they miss on that. The jokes are great. I think that they're funny to a certain extent. I think that like I said, they miss on a lot of points because they have these long drawn out pauses where you're thinking about the movie instead of like laughing, a small plot point, laughing, a small plot point, and just building it that way. It seemed like the movie was really long too. Probably because of that, because I wasn't laughing the whole time. I saw this movie with a few friends, and afterwards we were talking about it, and one of my friends described it as the bad jokes of Family Guy. And to me, like, I don't think that he's wrong. I just think if you expected it to be 2 hours of good Family Guy, I think you went in not really understanding who Seth MacFarlane is and his humor. A lot of times if you're watching a Family Guy film or any other Seth MacFarlane movie, the jokes sometimes come out of left field. There's no rhyme or reason why they're there. I think maybe he just thinks that this line is funny, so he just throws it in there and says, screw it. And sometimes he's right. Sometimes it's hilarious, but sometimes you're just laughing at the sheer stupidity of the joke, and you're moving on, which was funny. I think one of the best jokes, I guess it's not really a joke, it's kind of a cameo / joke, is that they use the music from, like, the theme song of Jurassic World or Jurassic Park when they find some weed in this field. And I think it's really, really funny how they do it. And I guess because Universal is distributing both films, they have the rights to do so, or so I would assume that's how it goes. But as we're moving on, do I think there's going to be a sequel? No, I don't. I think that people are done with Ted. The first Ted was funny. The second Ted was funny, but not as good as the first. And I think obviously the box office shows that, as well as people not really caring about what's happening to Ted anymore. So I think as for that, like I said, there's no real reason for there to be a Ted 3. I wouldn't go to. I would wait for the movie to come out on DVD before I saw see a Ted 3. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't even make sense to me how there would be a plot for Ted 3. Obviously, Seth MacFarlane made a plot for Ted 2, which doesn't make any sense. But Ted 3 just seems impossible. But that seems to be it. So if you guys like the video, please hit the like button if you want to share it with other people who have been wondering to see if they should see Ted 2, or that they really, really like Ted 2. Maybe shoot the share and see what they say. If you guys have any comments on what you thought could have been better about Ted 2, or maybe you hated Ted 2 and want to share why you hated it, please put that in the comments below. But remember, guys, there are no girls with dicks, just guys with tits. All right, take care.